And so today we are going to discuss about those what are those standards and related to ISO and how those standards will benefit to your business. So we are from KET Group. Lanka KET Private Limited is the holding company. Under that, there are 4 companies like KET Impex. We are doing export and import business like spices, medical equipments, those things to the Lanka KET Impex. And KET Consultants for the consultation services like ISO consultations and HR administration, all those services. And the VK management systems is for the certification body. We are providing ISO certifications through the VK management systems. And KET Construction and Engineering Company is for the construction work like government, and we are working with government tenders and all the those construction work. So this consists of our company. Then I move to the presentation. So today we are talking about the standards for a better world. Without the standards, we can't think about any life. Like if you go to a supermarket, there are standards. If you drive your car, there are standards. And if you go to a play group or play a toys shop, there are standards.
Can you see the slides are not except the first one? Can you?
Oh, I think can you see the slides, Mr. Ajit?
No. It's not visible.
Yeah, it's stuck, I think.
It was visible before, but not moving.
Yeah, I think now you can see the slides.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because of that, I don't want to put it to the presentation mode. I will do it in like this.
That's fine. It's visible for us.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And like that, if we go to the fuel station, there are standards. So standards are everywhere. Without the standards, we can't even think about our life. So standards are it's a set of guidelines, like set of rules we can use to produce a consistent product. Like we can use it to make a consistent process. That means to deliver a product, something fit for the purpose. So it's like a rule and guideline. It's a set of like a Bible. It's a set of rules. So without if before we talk about the ISO systems, we should talk about these standards, because ISO consists with so many standards. Like ISO, there are hundreds of standards within the ISO body. So if we talk about what is ISO, ISO is most of the people think that ISO it's an acronym, like International Organization for Standards. No, that is not the meaning of ISO. If it is so, it should come like ISO, International Standardization Organization. No, we are telling it as International Organization for Standards. That means, since we know from our A levels, ISO is it's like a unique, and that means a homogeneous. Isothermal means a homogeneous system. So ISO is the Greek word that means equal. So ISO standards are equal in everywhere in the world. Wherever, whatever the country, whatever the language, it is equal for everyone. So that is the meaning of ISO. Otherwise, not the international, not as an acronym for International Organization for Standards. So if we think about the history of the ISO organization, it's that organization began in 1926 as the Federation of the National Standardization Association. It is the first name like ISA. So in 1942, the organization is disbanded because of the Second World War, and again it reorganized in 1946. And in 1947, it officially came into existence. Then it started its work in 1947. And the central secretariat body is situated in Geneva, Switzerland, and it consists of 167 countries, including Sri Lanka. There are memberships like full memberships and part memberships like that. But in Sri Lanka, we have a full membership in ISO organization. In the first, I should say that ISO, the organization consists with the number of national standards bodies. You are well aware about the national standard body like SLSI. So Sri Lanka's national standard body is the Sri Lanka Standards Institution. So this ISO organization consists with number of national standards body. They are the people who can represent their country in the meetings of the ISO. So the first national standard body formed in 1901, it is the British Standards Institution. That is the first standard body. ISO standards are voluntary. That means they are not regulated or they are not legislated, that no, the government can't force to anybody that you should apply those ISO standards to your business. So it is completely voluntary. If you want, you can apply. And the ISO certification, it should not, it is not a product certification. That if you are certified to ISO 9001 standard, that doesn't mean your product is certified, because ISO doesn't go to test your product and tell that this product is safe, but it says that the product is manufacturing in a safe process. So your process can be certified to ISO certification, and it is a management system and also manufacturing process service. These standards can be used not only for the manufacturing as well as the services. So you can see in the, when we talk about 9001, 14001 and 45001, all those are, we can use for the production as well as the service industry. So when we talk about ISO standards, this is the basic generic term like ISO 9001 2015. So standard body is the ISO, and the standard number is 9001, like 14,001, 45,001, 27,001. That is the standard number. And 9001 is for the quality. And 2015 is the year of publication. This is the latest year. This is the last version for ISO 9001 standard. So we are using the 2015 version. So this is the basically we mean what is when we talk about the standard number. And those are the very common standards: ISO 9001 for the quality management systems, and 14,001 for the environmental management systems, 22,000 food safety management system, 27,001 for the information security management system, 45,001 for the occupational health and safety management system. Those are the very common standards which everyone used and all over the world. 9001 is for the quality management system. It internationally represents the world's for the quality. There are, when we talk about separately, when we talk about separate, that means the 9001, we can learn about what are the quality management principles and what is the quality of the product, how how do we align our processes to manufacture a quality product. So like that, it's a vast area. So it is basically the quality of your process and service sector. And if you talk about what are the benefits of ISO 9001 standards, it directly relate to the increase the productivity and quality. If we apply the correct process and the correct path, you can get the quality product. And it also helps to increase the productivity. How do we increase the productivity means, so we can identify what are the waste in your product, and if you have any objective like on time delivery and those things, we can set our objectives, like so we can increase our productivity, increase the product consistency. If we apply the correct process all over the years, and who are the people conduct those processes, even if they change, the product is going as the same, because you have set the same process steps to conduct the process. So the product consistency is there. And risk reduction is a newly introduced section in ISO after 2015, because they are talking about risk reduction. So we have to identify what are the risks which we have to face during we conduct our businesses. Like there are many risks related to customer related risk and supply related risk. Like uh, the main risk is getting quality raw materials from suppliers. So if we don't get that quality raw materials, so our output will be in risk. So like that, we have to identify related risk, and increase business opportunities and increase revenue. That means if we have ISO 9001 for our business, we can use it as a marketing tool. So it can increase our business opportunities and customer satisfaction. If you deliver a consistent product to your customers, they will satisfy. And not even that, then if you are using ISO 9001 standard, you have to identify the current as well as the future customer needs as well. So if you don't think about what are the future customer needs, like the companies, what has happened to Nokia, your business will ultimately fail. So you have to think about the current customer satisfaction as well as the future. So you have to identify what are your customers' future requirements as well. So and the other thing is continuous improvement. As you may have already heard about that PDCA cycle, which is called the Deming cycle. So all the ISO standards apply this Deming cycle, the PDCA cycle, like plan, check, do, and act. So processes are organized as per this PDCA theory. So you have, if you apply this such standards to our organization, we automatically set for this PDCA theory, and improve control over business activity. That means we have to prepare the standard procedures, work instructions, and various checklist approval processes. So it automatically control your business. And the other thing is, since this is a international recognized certificate, your organization will automatically get the worldwide recognition. So you may have that you have asked the industry it relates to the what industry that ISO 9000 can apply. Actually, ISO 9001 is applicable to any industry. We can't put a special segment like. But I have show you some industries like construction, engineering, healthcare. You can see there are almost all over the industries. They are here, but it doesn't matter. ISO 9000 is, it's a very generic, like even ISO 14,000, 45,000, any organization can apply. So that is the basic rule of the ISO standards. And if you take about ISO 14,001, it talks about the environmental management system, how your company work towards the environment, how how you act uh, relevant to the environmental pollution, how do you minimize the environmental pollution activity. So it is basically the environment. And benefits, if we talk about the benefits, uh, reduce environmental impacts. We are calling impacts as the pollution, like water pollution, land pollution, and air pollution. Those things are the impacts. Those are, we are calling it as the environmental impact. So your company can reduce the environmental impacts. And maximum use of resources. That means uh, you should that your raw material consumption, and you are trying to minimize the consumption and wastage of the raw materials. Advantages over competitors. When you go for the tendering, it's like a business opportunity as the ISO 9001. So you create much opportunities when you compete with the other competitors. And when you start a business, there are so many environmental regulations like EPL license and all those things. So if you comply with the requirements of the ISO 14001, your organization will automatically comply with those environmental regulations. So there are so many regulations you have. You can see from that Central Environmental Authority. Likewise, your company will automatically align with those rules. And the this already you get the financial advantage, because you can reduce the raw material consumption and wastages, and also drive innovation. This is a very important title, because drive innovation means that you can think about the recyclable, the environmental friendly items like parts and those things. So that is the drive innovations. Like now recently you can see there are straws in like Milo and all the milk packet straws in recyclable paper. It's not actually plastic. So those things are innovation. If you think about the environmental, you should go for those innovations. And actually as 9001, this is also applicable to any industry. If you think about the environment, you can go for this standard. And ISO 45001 is related to the occupational health and safety, uh, which goes to protect your employees and visitors from work-related accidents. So the 45,001 benefits are, we are talking about what are the accidents, what type of accidents can happen, what is the near miss situations in your organizations, how do you overcome, uh, what is the count of your accident, and like that. We are very keen about those occupational health and safety incidents. So this if your company willing to apply the standards to your business processes, this automatically helps to identify the hazards and risks. Like I told you, in after 2015, all the standards following this rule, like doing risk assessment. What are the risk situations in your company has, and reduce downtime, because downtime can happen if your employees are in danger or something happen to employees. Downtime can automatically happen, because of that your cost uh, and your valuable time and maybe a valuable person can lose. Those things can happen. And if your company is registered for the 45,001, your insurance premiums can be lowered, because they know you have take precautions to reduce the uh, hazards activities. And this helps to improve your employees health and safety, and they will be very satisfied, because if you think about their health and safety, they will think that company also think about us. And your, like the other standards, your, this helps to improve your company reputation and also increase the opportunities to gain new businesses, and you have a, you can compete with your competitors if you have this standard. And this is also helps to maintain compliance regulations, like there are uh, shop and office ordinance act, like, and so the BOI act there are. So your organization will automatically comply with those regulations. Like the other standards, this is also very suitable for the aerospace, mining, construction, engineering, and steel fabrication industries, as in the textile, because in textile industry, most of the customers will see whether that factory has these 45,001 standard. If not, they don't like to give their orders to the factory. So because of that, the textile people will tend to get those certifications. And oil and gas, those are where the main industries, but any industry can get the 40,001 standard. And if you think about those ISO standards, this helps to maximize the revenue. Then that, like we talk about few benefits of the standard certifications. So then you will get a very brief understanding what are the benefits. Like your customers will retain, and if they continuously, if you can continuously satisfy your customers, they will retain with your business, and your system will efficiently work. Waste and defects will reduce. Because of that, your cost will minimize and your revenue will increase. So this is a very in one picture you can see what are the benefits, and through these standards you can get. This is the actual situation which we get from one of our customers. We didn't put any because we had to uh, protect the confidentiality data. Because of that, we didn't put their names and the product details. But you can see the graphical analysis also, how they have reduced the defects of percentages of their defects of the products. Earlier they have experienced a huge number of defects, but later on you can see their defect rate is decreased. In 2020 there's a sudden enough, but it is because of the I think there are COVID situations, and there are the loss of the trained people, and it can considered as a special cause variance. So other than that, they have experienced a very good results because of the certification process. Like they have implemented the checklist and the approval processes. Like they can't go to the next step without the engineer's approval, like that. So like because of that, they have uh, introduced a very good system to check those defects and check and verify their designs and fabrication work, and they have gained a good benefit from this. The next one is they have they could able to reduce the unplanned machine downtime. Uh, Earlier there are many this is from the hours, there are many hours, there are like unplanned machine downtime. But now they have they could able to smooth their processes, and because they have introduced the preventive maintenance checklist and preventive maintenance schedules to their organization. Because of that, they are doing the on-time calibration activities, and they have planned trained the people, and they have appoint a responsible person to handle that equipment. Because of that, they could able to reduce the unplanned downtime because of everything. Because these things can, you can experience these things because of this certification. And the last one is the customer complaints. now they could able to reduce, because earlier there are some instances that they have failed to send the equipment, that spare part equipment kit with the machine, because they may neglect those things and they couldn't identify whether they put it with the customer order and not. But now they have implemented checklist, and there are one person is checking and the other one is approving. Because of those things, they could able to reduce those customer complaints and the operation failures. That is, they will check the run and check everything and each and every part according to their checklist. And calibration failures also, because now earlier there are temperature issues, like they set the temperature to 60 but it is not actually the 60. So those things they could able to reduce. They have trained the people and they have trained how to verify their equipment towards the temperature, like that. So those are the real world examples we can show you how people got the benefits through these certifications. And this is the consultation process. There are two parts in ISO certification. Like first thing is the consultation and the second one is the certification. So consultation process, when we receive the request from the client, first we submit our quotation, and after we get the obtain the approval from the client, we do the initial visit to your organization and we conduct awareness session. So we give a training in detail what certifications your organization should apply, and what in close by close we are going to give them a very in detail training. And then we collect all the relevant information, and we review your existing process, and then we recommend some changes to your process. If your processes should if you want to align your processes with the ISO requirements, you should do these kind of changes. And then we'll do, like the other thing is we are doing the gap analysis as well. Then we will give the report to the client, and we then do the documentation part, the like we prepare the SOPs, manuals, and all the record formats according to the client's requirements. Then we will conduct the internal audit. We will hire a separate person, outside person, to conduct the internal audit. Then we will submit the application to the certification body. And the certification process is we will appoint a separate audit team to conduct the certification audit. Then we will send the audit, we'll prepare the audit plan and send it to the client. Then we get the approval from the client that if they have any objections towards any auditor, they can raise it before we confirm the audit. Then we will conduct the audit, and we raise some nonconformities. Then the client will give a reasonable period to client to address those nonconformities and take the corrective actions and find the root cause analysis. Then after we conduct the initial audit, certificate will be awarded. Then after the first year, you will have the surveillance audit. Then at the final year, you have again the recertification audit. So this is a 3 years audit cycle. Your certificate will valid until 3 years of time. And we will conduct ISO consultation and certification programs. We can come to your premises and provide consultancy services, and arrange seminars, trainings to your members. And also we can individually visit to your premises and your departments, and individually meet your department heads and explain the requirements and introduce certain changes and requirements according to the ISO's requirements. Okay, this is our, if you are looking for a certification, you can contact us through these VK management systems. And if you are looking for the consultation services, even for ISO, HRO, administration work, anything, you can contact us through the ISO consultants. And these are the references which we have provided our services. They are our premium clients. Okay, now you can ask any questions if you have.
Yes, the floor is open to the question. So any audience have any questions, you can raise. Yes, Denushi, first of all, the question is from my end. When we are talking about the environmental and safety aspects, we
Yes.
maintain ledger called aspect and impact registry.
Yes.
In ISO. So could you please explain a little bit about, because in terms of engineering, we are more actively work on the field or the companies and all. So it tends to more towards accidents. So if you can explain a little bit about aspect and impact registry, it will be
Yeah.
more appropriate for this forum.
Okay. Actually, Mr. Ajit, there isn't any specific format to prepare aspect and impact registry. You can prepare it according to your requirements and which is very comfortable for you. And first, if we talk about what are the environmental aspects, for example, if you have a boiler and you can see there are a lot of SOx, NOx, like we tell it as SO2, NO2, those greenhouse gases can emit. So that is the environmental aspect. And impact is your environment, that air can get polluted through these gases, from these gases, and like SO2 will cause to sulfuric acid and acid rains, like that. So that is the impact. And if you take another example, if you emit if you have like any petroleum bowsers and petroleum storages, there is a tendency to get leakages from those bowsers and tanks. So that is the leaking of those petroleum oil is the aspect, and pollution of the land or water is the environmental impact. So you can give like you can prepare a marking scheme, like how what is the impact to the environment. There can be huge impact and there can be very less impact to the environment. According to that, you can rank the situation, like um, huge impact and less impact, like that you can give a rank. And other thing is the occurrence. If it is routinely occurring, you can give a highest mark, and if it is very rare incident, you can give a very low mark. So according to that, you can multiply the occurrence and the impact, then you will get the quantification of value. So that is the according to the value of that multiplication, you can address those issues. If it is a very huge value, big value, you should act it immediately. If not, if it is a very rare case and if there's a very low impact to the environment, you should not much worry about that, but you should have a certain plan if something happen like that. I think you get what you required. Is it, Mr. Ajit, or do I need to explain it more?
No, that's what we have expected. And more questions from audience.
Yes, I have a question. Now, this ISO standard, what you have explained, is mostly suitable for the existing companies where they are operating without a system. There are many companies who has not got ISO standard. Then they can do a visit. As you said, you can evaluate and set up a standard. Now, my question is now we IMechE Sri Lanka group will trying to develop entrepreneur development. So very soon you might find few engineers are trying to start up their own businesses in the near future. Supposing if they want one, supposing if somebody set up a business, how can he straight away go into this ISO certification system, or does he need to go for a while, because initially he might not have staff, system, market, machinery, everything, so can we go for a while and then try to introduce the system? So I need your
Yeah.
view.
Yeah, I think we should run the business for a while. That means 3 to 6 months. It's quite enough. And then you can go for the certification system, because if you run your processes, then only you get what are the issues and what is your exact requirements. Then you can identify your requirements as well. Then if you settle down little, you can go for the certification process.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Nice words you have given.
And I'd like to
Yes,
thank you for giving this opportunity to us, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And the key things we have to think in an ISO related environment. Most of the companies in these days, what we do is we take ISO and we do some check marks and we try to get the ISO. But ISO is not that. We have to practice what we are doing, and what is in the document we have to practice. So that is the basics of ISO. So with this keynote, I would like to thank Mr. Kandarwal and his team and all the audience in the evening joining us and educating us, especially the IMechE Sri Lanka group. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.